Welcome to this week's episode of Your Stock Request for the 14th of November. Hi, I'm Michael Gable, Managing Director of Fairmont Equities. Your Stock Request is a weekly video where I take your requests and analyse the share price charts. So this week we have ALK, OVN, AX1, CYB and OZL. So if you have a request, please send it through to me. Remember to share this video on social media. Make sure you've signed up to the free newsletter. If you enjoy these videos, I'd love to get a review from you on Facebook or Google. And just remember, any advice here is general only. Starting off with ALK, this is a weekly chart. As we could see, the moves recently obviously going to be unsustainable. We need some sort of consolidation. If we move to the daily chart, what you'll notice is, see with this recent move up, we've had this low, a new high, and then it's breached this low around that's sort of around 66 cents. So that was a sign that the shares are going to fall further, which is different to if we have a look at what happened in June when it went to a new high, pulled back, it didn't breach this prior low, it actually held on top of it. So that ended up with a nice flat consolidation where it was able to explode higher. But here we've had a breach of that low, so it could go deeper. I mean, there's obviously support back here near 40 cents. Maybe it gets that far, maybe not. Either way, we need to see it settle down and form some higher lows before we can get interested in that one again. Okay, OVN, similar to the last one, we've had a breach of the previous low, so the uptrend's over. It's pulling back now. Looks like it's trying to make a couple of higher lows here on the daily chart, but if we have a look at the pullback from the last couple of days, fairly deep. So don't know if it's ready yet. I think it needs to use up a bit more time here. It needs to do a bit more work establishing itself. Otherwise, it's at risk of falling lower. AX1. I'll move to a weekly chart. So we'll get rid of the noise. This one starts to look really interesting. So what we've got is the possibility here of an ascending triangle. So that's been in place for a bit over a year now. Possibly a breakout in September which failed. A failed breakout should normally lead to a big move all the way back down towards the old high, but as we could see, it hasn't got sold off sharply. It's actually been holding up okay. So at the moment, it's actually looking pretty bullish. It may well be setting up for a proper break. If we zoom out and have a look at where it's been before in 2016, possibly we've got this big consolidation under this old high, which means if we get a break here, it may well just fly through that and be trading well into the $2 region. But for the moment, wait for that clear breakout. Definitely one to keep an eye on, looks pretty bullish. CYB, this is one I've started buying a few weeks ago actually for clients, so we could see that it's pulled back quite a bit, fears of Brexit and all that, but starting to recover. So what we've noticed is on the weekly chart, we had this nice reversal here, and then it sort of followed through with a gap up above the previous little high. So if we move into a daily chart, as we could see, it's taking out old highs, it's filling gaps pretty quickly. So that's all looking pretty good. So it looks like this thing will continue heading higher for the time being. If I zoom out a bit more on the daily chart, we could see this gap here in July. So that's around sort of 325 to 350, and we can see that the shares have done a lot of work in that region previously anyway. So for now, I think it'll continue to head higher, and that's where we'll see the first line of major resistance. OZL, so if we have a look at the weekly chart, we can see it's generally been trending higher, which is good longer term. It's hit the old high and naturally hit some resistance, but it's come back pretty sharply. You can see the volume there, so that's a bit of a concern. Ideally, what we needed to see was, instead of such a sharp rise all the way into the old high, ideally we should have seen a bit of consolidation under that high which would have prepared it for a proper move, but it sort of rushed up, and I think now we're going to see the stock pulling back. It's just gone up there too quickly. It'll pull back for a while, so I think there's no rush to be picking up Oz Minerals unless for some reason it quickly overcomes that $11 mark in the short term. Okay, well that's it for this week. Send your request. I'll try to look at it next week for you.